All right, here we go. Here we go. We're continuing our journey, our quest to find that shiny female Snorunt. What's going on? We got Gabby in the chat. We got Game 123 in the chat. What's going on, guys? I just came back. That one weeb is in the chat. What's going on? What's going on, guys? I just came back from a birthday dinner. So my stream's starting a bit later tonight, but we had a good birthday dinner, though. It wasn't my birthday. It was a good friend of mine's birthday. It's a lot of good food. Not going to lie to you. I got that itis. And you know, when you eat too well, you eat good, like on Thanksgiving, and then you're like, not going to lie, I got the itis. But I'm still going to try and get this shiny female Snorunt, because we got the male yesterday. And we need the female, because the male and female evolve into different Pokemon. Game 123 says, "What'd you eat at the birthday dinner?" We had Italian food. We had every pasta possible. We had pasta, we had pizza, we had lasagna. It was out of control. We had tiramisu. It was a lot. It really was. It was great. But it was a lot of food. And I went straight there after work. So I'm just totally, I'm done. Okay, let me get this Geodude out of here. I don't need Geodude doing all that. Just hanging out. A lot of Snorunts here. A whole lot of them. See, Dragonite will clean house on all of them. No, not quite. How's everybody's Monday been? Did you guys have a good start to your week? Game says, I ate chicken and macaroni. Right on. That sounds great. Gengar is just going for everybody. Come on. B-Raz is in the chat. What's going on? We got B-Raz in the chat. Our lovely moderator has appeared. Game 123 says, "How are you doing today, B-Raz?" Gabby says, "Hi, B-Raz," as well. B-Raz says she had a relaxing Monday. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. B-Raz was not at this birthday dinner tonight that I was at. But if she had been, I don't think B-Raz would be in the chat right now. I think she'd be asleep. I think she'd be knocked out. Because it was a lot of food. The hard triers in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, hard trier? Come on, I just need one. I just need one. BRS says, "I don't think I'd be home yet." Oh yeah, you definitely wouldn't be home yet. Definitely not. The hard trier says, "How's your day been going?" It's been going pretty good. I'm streaming a bit later today because I got off of work and then I had to go to a friend's birthday dinner. So I just got back from doing that right now. Probably like 15 minutes ago. So decided to just hop on and try and shiny hunt Snorunt. I need that female Snorunt because I got a male one yesterday and I got Galele, but you can only get Frolas from a female Snorunt, so gotta grind to try and get this shiny, and then I have to hope that when a shiny one appears that it's a female. So it's like, I feel like it's like a 50-50 chance. But yeah, I've been had a good day. I was pretty busy today, but we did eat a lot of food at that birthday dinner, so I do have that itis. I do have that itis that hits in when you eat too much food, you get sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. Chaotic Aiden's in the chat. What's going on, Aiden? What's going on? How's it going? How's it going? How was your stream today, Aiden? How'd it go? I couldn't catch it today. I was busy at work today. The stream was insane. How'd it go? How'd it go? Okay, we didn't get a shiny Snorunt at this outbreak of them. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see where the next one is. Okay, down there. All right, let's do it. You said that's impressive. What's impressive? What's impressive? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I do love my nose. I'm glad I don't have a tiny one. That's crazy. I don't know how to do outbreaks correctly, but I have so many shiny Pokemon. It's hilarious. But yeah, I'm saving my Herba Mystica. I'm not trying to use that for these, which already have increased shiny odds, so it's not that serious. Thank you. The size of my nose is impressive. I feel very fortunate. Gabby says, I caught someone vaping. I thought I saw it as I was walking by. I stepped back a couple steps and again saw his lips on the metal and our eyes locked. Shiny Pokemon in the easiest game doesn't really mean much. Yeah, well, they're still shiny. They're still cool. That's hilarious. You're like this Dragonite I have here is from back in the day. This is from Gen 5. That's funny, man. I'm forgetting. At some point, did I ask? Like, did I ask? I was waiting to see if I don't recall. Maybe my nose is just so big, like I can't remember. But I don't think I asked for like your opinion or your thoughts on me shiny hunting here. So what did you end up doing about it, Gabby? What ended up happening? The Hard Trier says, what would you do if you not on purpose knocked out a shiny by accident? Well, I would just save before I did the encounter, so I could just reload the save. Oh, I forgot to see. You said you were taken out by the Robo Assassin, and Weber showed up like 4 times, and someone became the Dark King. The Darkling? That sounds crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think people have like so many different ideas and opinions on how you should be doing this. I just don't use any sandwiches. I don't go buy the meal. I don't do anything. Like, you don't have to. They already have increased shiny odds. I already have the shiny charm. Like, it's not that serious. But, you know, people have their opinions, and they come running in. Imagine if it was like real life too. Like someone just runs into your room and they're like, hey, I know you didn't ask for my opinion, but I'm just gonna come in here and give it to you anyways, and tell you that you have a big nose. It's just so like, it's just so funny, dude. Hey, you're shiny hunting wrong, and you have a big nose, bro. It's like, okay. Thanks for that. I appreciate the info, man. Igor's in the chat. What's going on, Igor? Chaotic Aiden says that's called backseat gaming. It's incredibly rude. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really, you call it what backseat gaming. Yeah, that's a good term. I don't think I've ever heard that before. But I'm cool with that. I've probably been playing Pokemon longer than that person has been alive. So I'll take it. I'll take their their opinions with a grain of salt. What's going on, Fable? Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. How you doing? How you doing? Igor says, did you visit the barber? You're looking fresh. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Igor. I did not go to the barber. I actually have a haircut scheduled for this Friday. But I have some product in my hair. That's why I have some product in my hair, so my hair is laid down and styled a little bit differently than it usually is. Gabby says I ended up walking away a bit and letting our asset protection person know so he could walk by and see if he could catch him. If he caught him, he would escort him out. But he got the hint. I just said to myself, I don't get paid enough. You know what, Gabby? Sometimes that's what's going, like sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and say, it's above me. I don't get paid enough for this. It's good to see Fable in the chat, and thank you for that compliment, Igor. I appreciate that. Do appreciate that. And shout out to Nick, who's in the chat. Says he is naturally fresh. I appreciate that. The Hard Trier says still looks fresh. Appreciate that, guys. And Chaotic Aiden got a haircut too. Right on, right on. I actually really badly need a haircut. Like, bad. I was actually supposed to get my haircut last Friday, but I ended up having to move the appointment to this coming Friday, so I'm going an extra week without a haircut. I usually get my haircut once a month. I was like looking over here, I'm like, these aren't shiny, right? Okay, just making sure. How you doing, Nick? How you feeling today? Start of the week here. Aiden, when you go in to get a cut, do you have like a specific cut that you go for each time? Like you have your look down, or do you go in and you mix it up? For me, I get the same thing every time. But some people, they go in and they mix it up every time. Nick says, I'm feeling decent today. Just got to the final boss of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Man, that final boss is great. It really is a great boss fight. Bowser's Inside Story is such a great game. Like, it really is such a great game. It's so good. Gabby says, the one nice thing of having straight long hair as a female is just letting it grow. You just let it go. And then all you got to do is time to time, you got to just go and cut your split ends. That's all you got to do. That's easy. But the hard stuff is the maintenance. Like, it takes y'all longer to wash your hair, the products you guys put in your hair, everything. It's a whole different vibe. Aiden says, yeah, I have a specific cut. It used to be a buzz cut, but I got bored of that real quick, so I get fades instead. Right on. Right on. I buzzed my hair once when I turned 20, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. Nick Saturn says, the saddest part is I'll never be able to have a first playthrough of this game again. Yeah, sometimes I'll be on TikTok. It's mostly TikTok where I run into this, where people will be like, I just got a Switch 2 and I never had a Switch 1 before, and I'm playing Super Mario Odyssey for the first time. You know, or I'm playing Breath of the Wild for the first time, and I see those posts and I'm like, dude, I'm like, imagine playing like Breath of the Wild for the first time. Like, I'm almost envious of people who get to experience that for the first time, because it's like such a fantastic experience. The Hard Trier says, don't worry, there's always a second playthrough. That's true. But there's nothing like your first playthrough, especially of like a classic game. And it's always good to, like, when you read up or you do your research on games like that, like a classic game, and you've never played it, and then you go in, you know, and you, before going in, you see like all these positive thoughts on it and critique from people, and then you go in and you're like, yeah, we'll see, and then it turns out to be just amazing. Aiden says, same. Nick says, Breath of the Wild was insane during the time. It felt like I was in the future, and now it's 2025. Yeah, Raichu, who's one of the moderators here, he was saying that he'd never played Tears of the Kingdom before, and he's playing it now for the first time on the Switch 2 with the Switch 2 update. And he's doing the 60 frames a second. I'm like, dude, you're playing this game in the most optimal way possible. Like, that is, what a dream. What a dream. Aiden says, I have a friend who's streaming his first experience in Breath of the Wild. Oh yeah, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have streamed my entire Breath of the Wild playthrough. That was amazing. I still think about that game to this day. It really was a wonderful game. They were deep in their bag when they developed that. Gabby says, totally, the time to dry is the most annoying. See, I already know, Gabby. I already know. I already know. B-Raz, I ended up getting her the Dyson products. Like, there's the Dyson blow dryer, there's the Air Wrap, the Air Straight, and then the flat iron. She has all of them. I made sure she had all of them, just to try and speed up that process. Nick says, I was 13 when it came out, now I'm 24. Oh my gosh, dude. He said, now he's playing Tears of the Kingdom. We'll never hear from him until he's done. The Hard Trier says, maybe the next Zelda game. Aiden says, same friend I was playing Dokapon Kingdom with. Oh, okay, I got you. That's cool. Yeah, I remember the first time I played Breath of the Wild, I was just, like everyone, I was just blown away. I just could not, I was like, what? It like kind of melted my mind, honestly. And then what's crazy is they took that and they turned it up to 11 and then brought Tears of the Kingdom out. I'm like, what? I honestly didn't think they could do more, and they sure found a way to do more and then some. B-Raz says the Dyson hair products are the girls' version of a PS5 and a Switch. The Hard Chart says nothing like the first Guardian and Gloomhand experience. Oh, dude. The first time you run into those Guardians and the music that plays, like, bro, and the way they introduce them, and you have like no power, no hearts, no nothing, no armor, very low stamina. The way they introduce them to you, and they're just these menacing creatures, and the music plays, it's like they nailed that experience of like, you're not ready for this, run. Nick says, I'm glad you didn't need Amiibo for Tears of the Kingdom. Well, to be fair, you didn't need Amiibo for Breath of the Wild either. But you could get more of the stuff in Tears of the Kingdom. Aiden says, when I first found out you could wear the old tunics in Breath of the Wild, I was blown away. Yeah, oh, dude. I was all about it. Because I have all the Amiibo, so I was scanning them in, and I was getting all the outfits. And then, of course, the Wolf Link that could follow you around. Igor says, a Pokemon game with the same level of enthusiasm of Breath of the Wild is a dream. Hey, maybe one day we get that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be a mainline game, but maybe. Never say never, you know? And yeah, and the Gloomhand experience was so crazy too, because I don't know how it popped up for the rest of you guys, but for me, the Gloomhand it like randomly got me. Like when I was like trying to climb up a mountain, it just like appeared and it just annihilated me. I was like, what just happened? I didn't realize that it was something that would just like randomly occur, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this mountainside cursed or what? Dylan is in the chat. What's going on, Dylan? Nick Saturn says, let me unlock a hidden memory for y'all. Pokepark for the Wii and Pokepark 2. No, let's keep Pokepark buried in the vaults of our minds. Let's just keep them out. Gabby says, I know, B-Raz, ever since I moved out, I haven't had one, and I have been air drying it. Is your hair naturally straight, B-Raz, or what do you do? Oh, see, this is a good conversation, because literally before I got on, B-Raz literally DM'd me on Instagram that Dyson has some new hair products. Not hardware, but like, they have like a hair oil and a hair conditioner. And I already know, when I see that DM, I'm like, alright, we gotta get these. So we gotta get these next. Chaotic Aiden says, I played Pokepark. I enjoyed the first game. What if we do something crazy? What if we do something crazy and we open our memory vaults up and reference Pokemon Quest? Does anyone remember Pokemon Quest from the first Nintendo Switch? Because that was a game that exists. Nick Saturn says, I know I would hate Pokepark now, but I enjoyed it when I was like 12. Yeah, Pokepark was kind of rough, to say the least. He's a Pokemon Ranger. Bring Pokemon Ranger back. Pokemon Ranger was cool. Pokemon Ranger was cool. That was like the first real solid. That was like the first real solid spin-off game that I was like, oh, okay. And here comes B-Raz with the hair conversation with Gabby. She says, I wish it was naturally straight. I have wavy hair and it gets frizzy if I air dry it. I always do a blowout and my arms feel it. But I will say, B-Raz's hair always looks incredible. Igor says, Ranger was such a fun game. Yeah, the Ranger games were fun. I didn't really care for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon all that much. It was okay. Just okay. How about we continue to unlock these Pokemon spin-off game memories? Does anyone remember Nobunaga's Revenge or whatever it was called? It was Pokemon Conquest. Does anyone remember Pokemon Conquest? It was called like Nobunaga's Ambition or something like that. Pokemon Conquest. Does anyone remember that? Now that was a great game. And we only got one. Nick says, I have Pokemon Quest on my Switch. It's digitally collecting dust and rusting away. Dude, that Pokemon Quest game, I played that way too long. Because it came out early in the Switch's lifespan. And I just like, it was just like a mobile game. So I would just like hop in and play here and there. And I ended up putting in way too many hours. Igor says, I never played that. See? That one came out on the DS. Check it out when you have a chance. Check it out. Google it or look up some YouTube videos. Pokemon Conquest. But that was a crazy game. That was really cool. And then Aiden says, cool idea to implement the new mouse feature for Switch 2. I'm calling it Ranger will return. I think so. I think Ranger has a chance. It has a chance. Oh, look at this. We got our first super chat, guys. We got our first ever super chat, and it comes from B-Raz. Our lovely B-Raz. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Oh my goodness. Look at that little... What is that? What is that little animal? A little emoji thing that's moving around. How cool. Pokemon Rumble. I remember Pokemon Rumble. And then Aiden says, remember when we all thought we'd have Pokemon Unite back in 2020? Oh yeah. And then Pokemon Unite came out. And we played Unite. I mean, I played Unite for a little bit. I had some fun with it. Even me and B-Raz played Unite for a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a fox. I got my first super chat. That's exciting. It looks cool too, like the way it pops up. B-Raz says, oh yes, it might be a fox. I thought it was a Shiba. Oh yeah, I could kind of see both. That's a spoiler alert right there from B-Raz doing that. I actually unlocked super chats today on my YouTube account, which is pretty cool. The shinies are hiding. The shinies are hiding. Pokemon Coliseum, I love it. Fun fact, I believe Pokemon Coliseum turned like 20 today. It's either like 20 or 25, something like that. I think it's 20. Pokken Tournament, yeah, I liked Pokken Tournament. I played Pokken Tournament on the Wii U a lot. I have it on the Switch, but I didn't play it as much on the Switch because we kind of got burnt out from playing it on the Wii U. But it was nice that on the Switch they added in those arcade-only characters, and then they also ended up doing DLC later on. Gabby says, B-Raz, sometimes I wish mine wasn't straight, but it's nice that if it dries long enough, it dries so well it doesn't need to be combed out. Ah, I see. You gotta see what B-Raz was talking about. She was talking about she does like a blowout on her hair. B-Raz gets down when it comes to styling her hair. Her hair looks incredible. Looks really good. All I need is one shiny Snorunt. That's just one. A female one specifically. Just one. I feel like what's gonna happen is I'm gonna find a shiny, but it'll be a male. The Hard Try says, imagine we find a male. I know. I have like a sneaking suspicion that it's gonna be a male one that I end up finding. Which, I mean, that's okay. I'm not gonna be upset if I get a shiny one, but it just means that I'm gonna have to do this again another day. The Hard Trier says, what do we do with it? I don't know, that's a great question. I could keep it. The Hard Trier says, what do we do if we find a female one? Well, if we find a female one, then I'm going to evolve it into Frolas. That's really the only reason I specifically need a female one, is because the male one evolves into Glalie, which is awesome, and I already have that. But the female Snorunt evolves into Frolas, and that's the only way you can get it. So I want to make sure I have both evolutions shiny. Might as well, since they're handing out shiny Snorunts, might as well do it. Might as well get both, you know? Yeah, isn't it Frolas? Am I not remembering its name correctly? I feel like it was Frolas. Frostless. Frostlass. Frostlass. Interesting. Is it Frolass? Yeah, it is Frolass. Yeah, it is Frolass. On Google, it's telling me it's Frolass. Frolass. I don't see Frost in the name. Frostlass? What's going on here? Hold on. Frostlass, yeah, there it is. But there's no T. There's no T, though. I've just been calling it Frolass for, like, my entire life. But it's Frostlass. Okay, got it. Frostlass would be cool, too. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Honestly, there's a lot of Pokemon that have just really insane names, and for a long time people didn't know how to say any of them. Like Arceus, for instance. I remember hearing all kinds of names for that growing when I was coming up. I was like, how do we say this Pokemon? And then finally we had somebody like officially say it, and we're like, oh, okay. Okay, looks like we didn't get one in this run either. My goodness. It is really nice to play through this without all that stuttering and frame dips and all that. This is great. You said what? Like Oink or Onyx? I never really seen anybody have an issue with Onyx. Oh, we got one more chance here. Let's get it. Let's get it. One of them that I remember back in the day was Togetic. I remember people would say like this is gonna sound crazy when I say it. I remember people saying Togetic. Oh, come on, man. What? Don't be running up on me. You got a lot of nerve, man. You got a lot of nerve doing all that. Oh, there's a shiny one. Is it male? Is it female? Moment of truth. Oh, it's male. Oh my gosh. It is male. Alright, well, we're gonna catch it regardless. Oh, man. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's a male, but that's okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's still found a good home. It has still found a good home. And you never know. Maybe they'll give it a third evolution someday down the line, and I'll have a Snorunt. A Snorunt. Okay. Well, that was early here. Let's see if we can find another one. This Poochyena is still here. Go away. You said, I guess the other one has a new brother. This is true. This is true. I mean, I don't know. I have a feeling that I'm gonna probably get more than a few of these shiny Snowrunts. Dang, did the outbreak already disappear? What happened here? Wow, yeah, it disappeared. It shouldn't have. What's going on with that, Matt? Hold on. Oh, is it because... It's because it just hit midnight. Okay. It just hit midnight, so they reset. Interesting. Okay. That works for me, because I was running out of them. I'm not upset about that at all, actually. The Hardfire says... BRB. Igor says Togetic. I'm telling you, there were kids that were saying Togetic, and I remember being like, what? Togetic? Igor says... Frostlass Japanese name is Yuki Manoko, which means snow princess. There's no way I pronounced that correctly, but I tried. But that's a pretty cool name. He said no princess for you. I know. I know. Hopefully I can get a female one. The princess is in another castle. Clearly. There's a lot of other Pokemon here that I don't really want to see. There's a lot of them. Oh, Dragonite, come on. There's so many Pokemon that spawn now. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't want Cutie Fly. Okay, this is kind of a lot here. Gonna need to clear these guys out. The Hard Fire says, I still can't believe Mario got friend zoned. You know what? If it could happen to Mario, it could happen to anybody. If it happened to Mario, it could happen to anybody. But Luigi and Daisy are still locked in though. We got no issues on that side. Mario, I saved you like 1,000 times. The Hard Fire says, remember the roads in Odyssey that sell you stuff in Lost Kingdom? Yeah, I do remember. Come on. Come on, Dragonite, lock in for me. Lock in for me. Look, he wants to smoke. They said they found a infinite money glitch. Oh my gosh. Like I said, they found an infinite money glitch with how many times Peach gets captured. That's true. That's very true. One thing about Peach is she just can't. She can't stay out of trouble. She's always getting snatched up by Bowser or whoever. Unless you're playing Super Princess Peach or Princess Peach Showtime. Aiden says we're slowly creeping to Bowsette being real. Bowsette's real in my heart, bro. Okay. I experienced. Igor says, does the game let you lower the sound effect volume without lowering the music? Um, let's see. Um, probably not. Oh, sound effects. Look at that. I got you. I got you, Igor. There you go. Hardfire says Mario blinks and Peach is gone. Bernice is in the chat. What's going on, Bernice? Good to see you again, Bernice. How's it going? Good to see you again. Bernice says, it's going bad, but getting better slowly. I hope the stream's going great. Hopefully things get better for you, Bernice. The stream's going good. We got people hanging out. This is honestly more of just me chatting with the stream than anything at this point, because what I'm doing is pretty mindless here. I'm just sending my Dragonite over to just just destroy all these Snowrunts. So yeah, the stream's going good. We're just chatting, having a good time. We're all just hanging out. Igor says, thank you. I was hoping the repetitive sound goes lighter on you. Yeah, of course. That sound is kind of, it's a lot. It's a lot. The Hardfire says, and we have 934 subs. I can't even believe it. We're climbing. I hope that guy who said that I was shiny hunting suboptimally and that I had a big nose, I hope he subscribed so I could see him again. Oh my goodness. Okay, no shiny Snorunt here in this batch. That's okay. It's okay, we'll just make a quick little scout of the area here. The Hardfire says, yeah, like the baby Mario crying. Yeah, that baby Mario, he might be small, but he sure could cry. So do you have to make it so loud? I mean, you know what? It was a different time. It was a different era, you know? They were just doing what felt right back then. They didn't know. Come on, Dragonite, lock in. There we go. You gonna get that Geodude automatically or no? And yeah, let's go. You said the era where we lost our ears. Yeah, it was a lot going on. I grew up throughout that era. The audio mixing was just, it was, you never knew what you were gonna get. It was like a grab bag, especially like when we got into like the Nintendo 64 era. PS1 and 64 era was just a grab bag of just any kind of audio. And don't forget to, not necessarily super loud, but you would have like really crunchy, kind of nasty audio that would come out of the Game Boy Advance. If anyone remembers some of those Game Boy Advance games, they would have really crunchy audio. Igor says babies can cry their lungs out. They absolutely can. They're very loud. Sorry guys, I ate a lot. I ate a lot of food. I got that itis. You know what happens when you eat a big old meal? Like you start feeling tired. The Heart Charter says also Sega. Yeah, there was a lot going on back in that 90s era. There was some really good stuff, and then there was just some all over the place stuff. Come on. You said the screen turned 8-bit. Igor says, when do you think we'll get a Winds and Waves teaser? What's Winds and Waves? What is that? The Hardfire says, I'm also curious of who the robot is in Age of Imprisonment. Is it Link? It's hard to say. Do you remember the little robot in Age of Calamity? We got Pokey in the chat. What's going on, Pokey? How's it going? How's your Monday treating you here as we go into Tuesday? It's good to see you, Pokey. I'm still trying to catch that female shiny Snorunt. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the robot is in Age of Imprisonment. I don't have any ideas. And we got You're Cool in the chat. Says hello. What's going on, You're Cool? Pokey says, I beat this game yesterday. Congrats, Pokey. Congrats. Now you got to get all the Pokemon in the Pokedex. You got to complete that Pokedex next. Igor says, isn't that the code names of the new mainline Pokemon games? Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. You said, when do you think you'll see them? I think we'll see them next year on Pokemon Day. That's my best guess. I think on Pokemon Day next year we'll see them, because I think it'll be the 30th anniversary of Pokemon next year. So I have a feeling they're readying up the next generation of Pokemon for the 30th anniversary. You're Cool. I'm gonna stick with You're Cool. So you were in the birthday place? Yeah, I was at a birthday dinner, so it was kind of a lot going on. Pokey says, I beat my game yesterday. Right on, right on. The Hard Chart says, maybe it's Link when he was unconscious. It's really hard to say. Maybe it is Link. I just have a hard time imagining that they're going to do another Hyrule Warriors that doesn't have Link in it, you know? But yeah, I think as far as the next generation of Pokemon, the next mainline set of games, I think we're not going to see those until next year. If I had to really think about it, I feel like they want to have a big new mainline game for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. I think that makes sense. And we're still getting Pokemon this year. You know, we're getting Pokemon Legends ZA. Is it the mainline game that we were expecting? Probably not, but I'm not mad at it, because Legends Arceus was really good. So if it can deliver a similar level of quality or better than what we got with Legends Arceus, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. The Hardshire says also imprisonment is canon. So yeah, I mean, who knows? You know, who knows what we get? Who knows what they're gonna do? Because Age of Calamity had some interesting things happening in it, and that was really cool. But the only thing with imprisonment is it takes place in the past. So it's like, how do they include Link like in the mix? Because you can't just not have Link, you know. I mean, I guess you could, but you gotta have Link. That's mandatory. I'm taking on the raid. Pokey says, good work. Knock that Pokemon out. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe Link is the robot. Oh, come on, Geodude. Get out of here. Yeah, or they go into the timeline, yeah. There's a lot of ways that they can navigate it for sure. I'm very curious to see how they do it. Plants is in, or Plant is in the chat. What's going on, Plants? Plant says I have to wait all the way to August 19th so I can change my username. And when you're able to change your username, what are you going to change it to? What's your next username going to be, Plants? Yeah, the hard trier is asking the same question that I'm asking. I want to know, what are you going to change your username to? You said I will plan it on my community. You got it. You got it. Well, we can't wait to see what the new username is. Fungi. That'd be kind of a cool name, actually. You said it's too generic. He said, because you're a fun guy. Look at that. Look at that, Igor. That's kind of like a classic dad joke. Plant says, I have finally made a poll where you can decide what username I should have. Okay. Okay, Plants. All right. The two usernames are Snowpea or You're Cool Snowpea. Okay. Okay. So you're like a big time Plants vs. Zombie fan. That's the vibe I'm picking up from you. Whoa, my Cleavor just hit level 100. I'll take that. I'll take that. I know. If I find another male, I mean, it'll be cool. I'm not mad at extra shinies, but I really need the female Snorunt. That's all I need. Just the female, and then I'll be good. I won't have to do this again until next week when they introduce the next set of outbreaks. I think they're doing fire Pokemon next week. I might be wrong, but I think it's fire Pokemon. And I definitely need to get a shiny Vulpix. Big time. That's on the agenda. Look at Dragonite go in the background. Still going too. Wow. The Hardfire said the game would be tripling down for the males. Yeah, I mean, hopefully not. I'm hoping we get a female one. Okay, we finished this one off. No shiny. It's okay. It's okay. Would you look at that? Just as I said that, I find a shiny. Now, it's not the shiny we were looking for, but it is a shiny I don't have. A shiny Rockruff. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Kind of concerned about Rockruff knowing like takedown to where it could knock itself out, so I'm just gonna throw the ball at it. Critical capture. I did just find a shiny. A shiny Rockruff. Okay, we'll take that, you see? We'll take that all day. I don't know what the other evolutions of Rockruff look like shiny. I'm gonna have to look into that and decide which one I like the most. We'll take that though. We weren't looking for a shiny Rockruff, but we got one. Yeah, the game said you've been searching for these Snowrunts. Here's a shiny Rockruff for your trouble. Said hope that'll do. You can have a shiny Rockruff. Oh wow, that's what I get for not looking. So you guys see, my Koraidon was invisible there for a second. Alright, come on. Let's see if we have any luck here. Ooh, is it a female? Oh, it's a female, chat. We finally found it. Let's go. Let's go. We did it, chat. We did it. Igor says, why don't you add a horizontal live too? Because I'm not able to multi-stream, Igor. Unfortunately, I'm not able to multi-stream, so at the moment it's one or the other. The Hard Trier says, let's go. I would consider adding in horizontal streams if I could multi-stream. Or I have considered the idea of multi-streaming, or excuse me, streaming horizontally. But I think I need to get more viewers before I'm open to that idea, like consistently. Because it's right now, it's a lot easier to get viewers on. It's a lot easier to get viewers on the vertical streams versus horizontal. And I've been clearly, I mean, obviously I've been having a lot of growth here, so I don't want to do, I don't want to be running into one of those situations where it's like, you don't fix what's not broken kind of vibe. But trust me, I have thought about it. That I think it would be better to stream horizontally sometimes, but I just think I gotta grow the channel a bit more before I start considering that. But I think eventually what'll happen is look at Cleavor just running around in circles. I think eventually what'll happen, because I'm not gonna stop, I'm just gonna keep going, so I'm gonna keep streaming, and eventually when I go live, hopefully, of course, I'll go live and I'll have a ton of viewers each time. Okay, Frostlass looks pretty cool too. I think Galele looks better, but Frostlass looks pretty good shiny. Done deal. Yeah, I think eventually I'll get to a point where I probably have consistent viewers, like a lot of viewers. When I get there, like let's say, I don't know what that magic number is. Let's say it's 30, 40, 50 people, 60 people, just consistently, like every time. I think at that point I would probably be willing to move into the into that world of like, okay, we're gonna do more. You said it looks almost the same as the regular version. Yeah, it kind of does. I need somewhere to place this for a second. There we go. Just shift that up. Yeah, I think Galele looks better. Look at that. Those are red eyes. But it's a shiny I didn't have before, and now I have it. I'll take it. But yeah, I think, like I said, without being super long-winded about it, I think if I can get to a point where I have like 30, 40, 50 people coming in consistently, like every time I stream, I think at that point I'll consider shifting away from the vertical streams and doing horizontal. Because right now, well, maybe not right now, but when I first started, I didn't have like a ton of subscribers, so if I had gone live using the horizontal format, I probably would have been lost in the bunch, and many of you wouldn't have found my channel. So, and I've been paying attention, like when Donkey Kong Bonanza was like brand new, like that week it came out, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was like looking at other people who were streaming the game, and they were streaming it horizontally here on YouTube. And I kept noticing a trend of like people who had many times larger followings than me. 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, etc. And they were streaming Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was a brand new game. And I saw people who had a way more followers than me, and they were having like 20 people in the chat. And I was like, there's no way. And it just reinforced what I already know, that YouTube is pushing vertical video content right now. So I've been benefiting from streaming vertically. And I'm going to continue to do it. But certainly if I have the ability down the line to multi-stream, I would do both. Or I would stream on multiple platforms. But for now, it's been working. I mean, this stream is a little bit low in terms of attendance. Like yesterday, I had significantly more viewers. I think I had like 2.5 times more viewers or 3 times more viewers consistently than today. But it's okay. Like I'm not really sweating the numbers that much, you know. I'm just trying to build the community more than anything else, you know. I like chatting with you guys and getting to know you guys, and you know, like to me that's more important right now than the numbers, because I'm still brand new. Like, yeah, you know, for a lot of you, you know, you've been in like every stream I've been doing for days and days, and like I've been streaming pretty much every day. But if I step back, I go, oh, yeah, I've only been streaming for 2 months, so let me slow down, you know. I'm not trying to hyper fixate on the numbers and stuff. I'm just trying to have fun at the end of the day. So you said also you stream at a late hour. This is true. I do stream at a late hour. I usually start streaming though around 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so it's not super late, but usually my streams will run into a situation where it does become pretty late. Tonight is a different situation. I went to a birthday dinner. I'm coming back late. You know. The hard trier says it's good to take some breaks. No, of course. Of course. I don't feel like I need a break or anything. Like before I started streaming, in general, before I started streaming, I would have just came home from work and played video games until it was time to go to bed anyways. So now what I'm doing is just streaming that process, you know, like I'm not going out of my way to do something that I'm not already accustomed to doing. What I will say has been a positive, and maybe you guys can relate to this, is I'm like on my phone a lot less when I get home. Like I'm not scrolling through social media or whatever. There's nothing wrong with scrolling through social media or anything, but I will say I've noticed like I'm on it a lot less because I'm streaming. And I like that because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm playing some games. And I have a ton of games. I have a big backlog, so it kind of works out. Sorry, I'm just looking up what the shiny Rockruff will evolve into. I want to see what the forms look like when they evolve. So Lycanroc also is blue, which is kind of cool. Oh yeah, all of the forms are blue. Ooh, it looks cool in pretty much all the forms. Whoa. That's gonna be tough, guys. I'm gonna have to decide what to evolve this Rockruff into. Game123 says I'm back. I was doing something. Igor says show us. I don't know if I can show it to you guys nicely, but you have here, this is the standard Lycanroc, which is kind of red there, as you can see. And then the shiny version, it gets a palette swap where it has like that deep navy. And then the other one looks like this. There's that standard kind of orangey hue. There's really no way that I can get that to look better, I think. Let me see. Yeah, you get like kind of that orange. And then you have that blue again. Yeah, I gotta think about it. I might end up doing it as a poll. I don't think I'll do it on this stream, but probably on the next time we do a Pokemon stream, I'll probably have to decide. Because I know one of the evolutions is kind of annoying. Because it's like time based. I think all its evolutions are time based. It's like the sun is up, the moon is out, and it's like sunset. And it's like a very specific... No, it has 3 different evolutions. It has 3. So one is in the middle of the day, the other one's at nighttime, and then the other one's like at that... the sundown, sunset kind of vibe. So this is that other one. This is when the sun's up. It's just like a standard one. It looks very similar to the other one there, and it's just more just blue. It looks good. They all look good. But I have to decide which one I like most between the 3. If I can't... Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's the midday form, the midnight form, and the dusk form. And the dusk form is only from Rockruff with the ability Own Tempo between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. That's crazy. Luke, no... Yo no hablo español. Okay. But that Rockruff does look good. I like the blue. I do like the blue. Yeah, I have no idea what they said. Yeah, I don't know. I know like a little bit of Spanish, like poquito, like a little bit. But I don't know exactly what they're trying to say. The primero, which is first. The first Pokemon play. Yeah, I don't know. Primero el Poki Diego. Yeah, I don't know. I wish B-Raz was in here. B-Raz does speak Spanish. She would have been able to translate that. I know a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to know that answer. Igor says, I speak Portuguese and I barely understood that. You speak Portuguese? That's pretty cool. Luke says, I don't speak English, solo un poquito. Okay, I understand. Yo no hablo español. Unfortunately, I don't know. Like, my Spanish speaking skills is like, it's like más o menos. Like, it's not good. It's definitely not good enough to read it, you know? It's not, I'm not like that. And I'm not Spanish in general, so I don't know. Igor says, I'm Brazilian, actually. Right on, Igor. Are you in Brazil? Or are you in the where are you in the world? That's pretty cool. You're Brazilian. Sorry, I thought it would take a little longer to get that Snorunt, but we actually nailed that pretty quickly. So I have like another box where I put shiny Pokemon that I've captured playing that I'm not sure what to do with yet. Almost all of these Pokemon in here are shiny. Oh, you do live in Brazil. That's amazing, Igor. I bet it's beautiful over there. I've only seen like, like when they do, what is it, the festival that they do over there? Is it Carnival? You said good night from Argentina, bro. You have a great night. Shout out to Argentina. You have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Wow. Brazil and Argentina. Yeah, I've only seen the festival that they do there, and I've seen the videos, and like it just looks amazing, like so colorful, like so vibrant. This is funny. I have all the Tatsugiri forms in their shiny variants. The Carbink looks pretty cool, actually. Execute here. This I need to evolve into a shiny Alolan Executor. That's right. Luke. Buenas noches. Buenas noches, Luke. You said Pokemon is international. It absolutely. Pokemon is global. It's everywhere. People love Pokemon everywhere. Carnival or Carnival, as you call it. Yeah, Carnival. My bad. I would prefer to pronounce it correctly. My bad. In the U.S. we just say Carnival. I wasn't thinking about Carnival. Yeah, I've seen the pictures and like videos of when people go out there, and it looks like such an amazing time. I would love to go. I would love to take B-Raz and go visit Brazil. I have this Ursaluna right here. This is a special Ursaluna because this Ursaluna comes from my Pokemon Silver version on the 3DS Virtual Console, and I caught it as a Teddy Ursa, evolved it into an Ursaring, and then I moved it on up to the Switch, and I took it back to Pokemon Legends Arceus and evolved it into an Ursaluna, which is pretty neat. Man, they gotta do like a shiny Slowpoke one. Nifty Ultras in the chat. What's going on, Nifty? I was just doing some shiny hunting here on the stream, and we actually completed the shiny hunting I wanted to do. I ended up catching a shiny Rockruff. This was unintentional. I wasn't searching for this. I ended up catching a shiny Rockruff. I ended up catching a Snorunt, which I did want. And then I did get the other ones I wanted were where's that box? Hold on. I gotta go find it. Here we go. So I did get shiny Galele, shiny Frostlass, and shiny Beartic. And also shiny Baxcalibur. And Nifty says, I was on vacation for my birthday. Happy birthday, Nifty. Happy birthday. He said, I miss Latias from my lost emerald save. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it like you mentioned, my Ursaluna is crazy. This is an old guy here. All of these Pokemon are old, pretty much. So like these four are the starters from. This is from blue version, this is red version, this is from yellow, and this is from yellow. And then this is from silver, gold, and crystal. No, excuse me. Crystal, gold, silver. This was from silver as well. This is from gold. And then these three Pokemon are from Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon Gale of Darkness XD specifically. These are the GameCube starters that you would get. And then this is my first ever shiny Pokemon that I caught. That wasn't the shiny Gyarados. It was a golden Arbok that I caught in Pokemon Fire Red back in the day. So there's a lot of old Pokemon in here. This Dragonite and this Garchomp are from Pokemon Black and White 2 from back in the day. So is this Haxorus here. Tons and tons of old Pokemon. And then these are from 2011. This was like a GameStop event that they did. See, the original trainer says Win 2011 there. So these are some old guys too. And they're shiny as well, which is kind of cool. Igor says, how did you manage to preserve them for so long? So these Pokemon, like from red, blue, and yellow, and gold, silver, and crystal here, these Pokemon, you'll notice that they have that little Game Boy icon on the bottom, right above where it says change nickname. So you can only get these Pokemon from the original 6 games, red, blue, yellow, silver, gold, crystal, if you had the 3DS and you had the Virtual Console games. So you had to buy, you didn't have to buy all of them, but if you only could get 2, the smart ones to get would be Pokemon Yellow, because you could get Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander, and Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow, and then in Crystal, you would get Crystal because you could get Celebi. So you would do, if you had the 3DS Virtual Console games, you could then transfer those Pokemon out from the 3DS games and into Pokemon Bank, and then from Bank go up to Pokemon Home, which is where these Pokemon come from. So any Pokemon that has that little Game Boy icon there, as you'll see these 4 Pokemon do, they come from the 3DS Virtual Console games. So that's where they come from. But these Pokemon, like you asked, you said, how did I keep these for so long? Like, if you notice, even the description says, it seems to have traveled across space and time to join me from the Unova region. So this is from my Pokemon Black and White 2, and I have a ton of ribbons on these guys. But basically, for these Pokemon, and Lele says, what is your favorite shiny that you have ever had, and what was your first? So my favorite shiny is this Dragonite that I have right here, because it's from Pokemon Black and White 2. Same goes for Garchomp and Haxorus. These 3 Pokemon are from my Pokemon Black and White 2 saves from back in the day. But my first shiny that I caught was this Arbok. I caught this Arbok on Pokemon Fire Red way back in the day, like 20 years ago. And then, of course, my very, very first shiny was the red Gyarados that you would catch just by playing Pokemon Gold and Silver normally, but my first true shiny that I caught was Arbok here. Game123 says, I have to go to bed. See you next live stream. Bye. Have a good night. Thank you, Game123. You have a great night as well. We'll see you on the next stream. Nifty says, I remember playing on a 3DS. Amazing console. Yeah, the 3DS is awesome. I have mine right next to me. I had the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS here. You said, I love Dragonite and some great ones. Yeah, no, that one, it's just because of, I don't actually love the green Dragonite. I wish it had been maybe a little bit different or cooler, but just because of the history that I have with it, I really do like it. And it's different than like these. These were event Pokemon from 2011. You had to go to GameStop to get these, which I did, and I have them. But I don't really have that same attachment to them like I do with this Dragonite here. Same thing with this Flareon from Pokemon Colosseum. And then same thing with these Espeon and Umbreons from Pokemon Gale of Darkness from the GameCube games. So I was kind of answering Igor there. He said, how did you manage to preserve them for so long? So basically, when Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green were out, when they eventually did Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, they introduced what was called the PAL Park, and you were able to bring your Pokemon from the previous generation up. Nifty says, what game is this? This is Pokemon Scarlet. So you were able to bring your Pokemon up from Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green, all the way up to Diamond and Pearl, and then Platinum eventually. But the thing is they didn't stop there. So then they did Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and you can move those Pokemon forward from Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. And then they did Black and White, and then they did Black and White 2, and of course you could move those Pokemon up again to Black and White and then to Black and White 2. So from Black and White 2, you could use this thing called the Poke Transporter on the 3DS, and you could take your Pokemon from your Black and White copy and move them to your 3DS. And this was when they finally made it easier, because you didn't have to then go, okay, I have them from Black and White 2, now I'm going to put them into X and Y, or to Sun and Moon, or Alpha, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. You didn't have to do all of that, bringing them up each time. They just went into Pokemon Bank and you had them right there, which was awesome. And then they introduced the virtual console games of Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal on the 3DS, and that's where you get these Pokemon here from the virtual console games. So they all just lived perfectly in that Pokemon Bank. And once Pokemon Home came out on the Nintendo Switch, you were able to take all of your Pokemon from Pokemon Bank and move them over to the Pokemon Home on Nintendo Switch. So it was a tremendously tedious process, but I was able to bring back all of my old Pokemon from back in the day. In fact, I have all of them. I literally have all of them on my Pokemon Home. It's like, actually, it's intense. Like, it's actually out of control how many of them I have. I'm actually gonna put my sound effects back before I forget. There we go. I'll show some of them off here, just briefly. I'll hop into Pokemon Home so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I think I'm explaining it well, but I think it'll be better visually to see it. Igor says these are just the shinies. Oh, it's out of control, Igor. I have so many Pokemon. He said, right, where are the rest? So, look at this. I have 4,152 Pokemon sitting in my Pokemon home. And these Pokemon are from all of my previous generation games. So, we'll take a look at some of these. So, for instance, as I was talking about earlier, these are Pokemon from the Virtual Console, Pokemon Red. And as you'll see, next to its level, this is level 25, you'll see that Game Boy icon. So this is from Pokemon Red. All of these are from Pokemon Red here. What I went ahead and did was I caught all of the version exclusive Pokemon. And I made sure in my red version I got Jolteon, I made sure in my blue version I got Flareon, I made sure in my yellow version I got Vaporeon. So I didn't miss any of those evolutions. So these are all from the OG Pokemon Red. And then this was my team, minus that Charizard that's sitting in my Pokemon Scarlet right now. This was the team that I used to finish off the Elite Four. And as you can see, even the year, these are from 2019. So these are some older Pokemon. Now, in some instances, I've gone back and grabbed a Pokemon that has like a new variation or new evolution, and I've taken them up and evolved them. Like I have a Raichu that I evolved in a Alolan Raichu, just because I thought it would be cool to have like a Pokemon Blue Pikachu evolve into an Alolan Raichu. So in some instances I did stuff like that. Same thing with this Executor, and same thing with this Marowak. And then this was my team on Pokemon Blue, minus that Blastoise that's sitting in my Pokemon Scarlet. And then Yellow, same thing. This is my Pokemon Yellow team, minus the Venusaur and Raichu that are sitting in my Pokemon Scarlet. And what I did is I went ahead and got all the legendaries from each game, so you'll see them each time. This was like a huge grind. And then in Pokemon Gold, I have Ho-Oh, Lugia, Entei. Chasing down the legendary beasts are just horrible in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. So what I did was only focus on one per game. So Entei in Gold, Silver I got Raikou, and then Crystal I have Suicune. And once again, I evolved some of these based on future games. So like in Crystal, I made sure I caught every single evolution possible here. So Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, and Glaceon that I evolved later on down the line. And then I have other EVs here that I'm just preparing for when they introduce more evolutions, because I think it's cool to have the OG EVs evolve down the line. And then this was a shiny Sudowoodo that I actually caught in my Crystal version. That static encounter that you run into in Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal, I walked up to it and it was a shiny Sudowoodo, believe it or not. It's pretty cool. And then I have the Celebi that you can get from the 3DS Virtual Console release of Pokemon Crystal, which was pretty cool. And I caught all the unknown, all of them. And then this is my Pokemon Sapphire. This is from literally Pokemon Sapphire from back in the day. I have some shiny Pokemon here as well, like Hariyama and Liloon. There's a few more. Nifty says insane grind. You said insane. Yeah, it was a absolutely. I don't recommend doing what I did. I did this just because I've had every single Pokemon mainline game. I have all of them, and I just wanted to preserve all of them. So they're all here. This is from the GameCube. This is probably Colosseum, and then the other one, this is Gale of Darkness. I still haven't gone through. Here's a shiny Crobat that I have from Pokemon Sapphire. I don't have everything fully organized here, as you can imagine. It really is like, this is a huge undertaking to try and organize all this. I have it very loosely organized, and I like kind of know where stuff is. This was my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu from the Switch. I managed to catch a shiny Dragonite there. I have also a shiny Butterfree and a shiny Eevee. Not really anything too notable here, other than this Mew, I guess. You got this Mew from having that Pokeball controller. Nifty says, I'm going to bed. It's 4 a.m. for me. All right, Nifty. You have a great rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one, Nifty. Igor says, they totally baited us this year with the flying type Eevee. I know. But when it's time, I'll have Eevees prepared to go into the new evolutions. This is me just completing the Sword and Shield Pokedex. That's what this is. This is like a living dex that I started building. It's literally in order. This isn't that exciting, it's just Pokedex. Yeah. Then I had a G-Max box. This is my Pokemon Y stuff. These are event Pokemon in here. These were like giveaways. See, this is from 2014, 2015, 2016. Tons and tons of giveaway Pokemon. Then you get the shiny Xerneas here, which is cool. And shiny Evital as well, which is pretty cool. Kind of neat to see these guys shiny. I really have a ton of Pokemon in here. Pokemon X. There's nothing super interesting in this box. And then again, more event Pokemon. This one's a little more interesting. We have, this is a shiny. That's cool. It's a little more interesting. You get Genesect here, Celebi multiple times. More 2011 shiny beasts. But there's more interesting Pokemon in here. Like these guys down here. Had the shiny Dialga here, shiny Palkia, and shiny Giratina. And these were from a 2013 GameStop giveaway. And literally, it just keeps going. Like I just have so many of these event Pokemon. It's like, it's kind of outrageous, to be honest. Because I never missed an event. Going back all the way back in the day, like 10 plus years ago, I never missed an event. So I have them all. But there are some more interesting Pokemon in here, beyond some of the other ones. Like these Pokemon here, this is from my original playthrough of Pokemon Sapphire from back in the day. This was my original starter here. I will say, the only thing that's a little bit funky about it is that you have like the 3DS Virtual Console games, and they give you that little Game Boy icon, but they don't do that for the old Pokemon. Like if you have Pokemon from like Emerald version, they don't. There's no way to note that. You just have to know that that's where it came from. This box of Pokemon is interesting. This comes from the 3DS game Pokemon Dream Radar. And what was unique about this game is you could catch all these Pokemon in these rare Pokeballs, the Dream Balls. And they were kind of interesting because you would get these Pokemon and they would have their hidden natures or their hidden abilities is what I meant to say. They'd have hidden abilities. But more interesting is you could actually catch a ton of legendaries in this game. Like Tornadus, Thundurus, Landorus, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. And yes, you can get them in Dream Balls, which is kind of the only way. For a long time, this was the only way to get these Pokemon in Dream Balls. These are kind of rare because of that. Then we come into my Pokemon Black box here. Again, more shinies. We got some more here. I have shiny Gengar here. Disappointing shiny. It looks very similar to its normal color, but they're shiny. Let me see if there's anything else worth showing off here. Oh yeah, these are shiny Pichus that you got from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There was an event there back in 2014. So these are shiny Pichus. I evolved one of them into a Alolan Raichu. I have 3 of them. I evolved one of them into an Alolan Raichu. These are my Gyarados from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, respectively, here. And then I have a shiny Houndour that I caught. Trying to see if there's anything else. Shiny Altaria is kind of cool. Just a mess. Look at all these event Pokemon. Literally more of these from 2011. I have so many of them. Now you might be saying, how do you have so many of them? Well, what they would do back in the day is they had so many active Pokemon games in that generation. So they had like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White 2. And they would say like, oh yeah, you could get this Raikou and it's compatible with the games Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So you had an opportunity to get it 5 times. Because if you had each version, you could get it once per version. And you guessed it, I had all 5 versions, so I made sure I got all of them. If there was an opportunity to get multiples, I did. So literally I have all of these just sitting here. It's really outrageous. My Pokemon collection is just very, very vast. And then you have some Pokemon Go Pokemon here. Still need to figure out how I'm going to organize that stuff. Pokemon Sun. There's some interesting Pokemon here, but maybe not immediately worth showing. Igor says, I remember the Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and the Pokewalker thing. Yeah, I still have my Pokewalker. I still have it. I'm looking for... There we go. That's what I was looking for. Shiny Lunala here. It's kind of cool. Shiny Lunala. And then there should be a shiny Soul Galeo somewhere in the mix here too. Where, I don't know. There we go. Nope, that's the regular one. the heck? It's just kind of cool. Zero Aura. There we go. Shiny Solgaleo. There it is. As well as a Magearna. Kind of rare to find these guys. And I have all these Ash Hat Pikachus here. I mean, you get it. You get the gist of what I'm showing off here. It's a ridiculous collection of Pokemon I got here. I still have a lot of boxes that are empty. I still have a ton of Pokemon I kind of need to get rid of. I need to decide how I'm going to handle them. This was me building the Scarlet and Violet living decks, but I haven't completed it. There's a few missing. And then I think I have some shinies here at the end that I've caught in Pokemon Go. Yeah, these are all shinies. All shiny Pokemon here. Charmander, Froakie, Aerodactyl, Ladybug, Mawile, Yamask. Hitmonchan with the blue gloves is pretty cool. And then these are not shiny. But yeah, that's oh, this is one last good one, a shiny Zero Aura. Kind of neat to see here. Yeah, that's kind of my collection at a glance. But the thing is this doesn't have all of the Pokemon in it, because some of the Pokemon are still sitting on Pokemon Scarlet or Violet or Arceus or Diamond or Shining Pearl or Sword and Shield. Like, I haven't moved everything into Pokemon Home, so some of them are still sitting on their respective games, so it's going to be a huge task. Igor says you don't like giving them nicknames, do you? No. I don't really care for the nicknames. And also if you nicknamed a Pokemon in one generation, like let's say I nicknamed it in Sword and Shield, if for some reason I didn't have my copy of Sword and Shield anymore and I only have it on my Violet and Scarlet version, I can't rename it. Like, it's done. That's its name forever. And I'm like, well, what if I don't like the name anymore? What if I want it to go back? Like, you can't do that. So I tend to not give my Pokemon nicknames at all. Like, at all. Oh, man. I think we're gonna have to wrap up the stream here. It's 1:30. I've been pretty tired throughout this entire stream, so I'm actually pretty impressed that I made it over the 2-hour mark. Igor, I appreciate you hanging out with me pretty much the entire time here. You're a real one, Igor. You're a real one. We got that shiny Snorunt. We evolved it. We got the shiny Frostlass. We did it. But I have to go to work tomorrow, so I'm kind of, I'm done. I will be back streaming tomorrow as well. We got T in the chat that says, love you, buddy. I appreciate that. Had a lot of fun streaming Pokemon. This is only the second time I've really streamed Pokemon, so we'll see if we do more of that. You say your hair is looking great. Thank you. Thank you so much. As tired as I am, my hair has product in it. It still looks and feels good right now. So it's going to get messed up, though, right now as I get ready for bed. But I appreciate that compliment. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Do me a favor, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If for some reason you're subscribed and you haven't hit the like button on the live, do me a favor, hit that like button as I head out here. And if you really liked what we got going on with the community, you can join my Discord by finding the link to join my Discord in my YouTube bio. You'll also find a bunch of other social media accounts for me there in my YouTube bio, like my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, whatever. Feel free to follow me anywhere that you please. But if you want to join the Discord, we'd be happy to have you if you haven't joined it already. And that'll be the end of this stream. I appreciate you guys. You have a great night or a great day wherever you're at in the world.